you guys are presenting something to Congress that is very, very, very beautiful. I love it. And I want you to tell the audience what it is.
And so I didn't know you were going to. Thank you so much. I'll be brief.
Oh, you're good.
31 years fighting human trafficking, and there's so much. Congress has really done a great job codifying the law, criminalizing trafficking, writing great policies, 41 task forces funded through Congress, awareness campaigns, but we've never touched the judiciary, the Justice Department. And if you look at where human trafficking is falling apart, it's in the Justice Department. Not just the shiny cases like we've seen recently, but it's all the way down to lower courts. So 2 years ago, as I am a praying man, I'm praying 3 o'clock in the morning because we have to re-rescue the same victims and arrest the same traffickers because they get let out. And God just gives me an idea, and Aiken Law, massive law firm, says, we'll run with this with you pro bono. And 2 years later, we presented a white paper. It's published, and now Congress, both Senate and House, are jumping on it. And we are, bold idea, but we are asking Congress to go with us and institute an Article 3 constitutional specialized human trafficking court, a federal court, where if it's a human trafficking case in your county, in your city, that the judges, the current judges, are cross-designated, where that case goes to a specialized human trafficking court where the judges know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. You don't have Comey's daughter representing or building the case. You have an actual prosecutor that understands human trafficking. They get monitored. They're appointed and confirmed, which means, they take courses every year. They have amazing suite of services that serve them, like SCOTUS is served with amicus briefs. And what happens is an average judge in Dallas may see one human trafficking case every 5 years. So when a real trafficking case comes to him, it's got no chance.
And can we, just for a second, is it because I don't want to speak for you, but I'm going to presume because these cases, they plead down to other charges, it never goes to the judge. Is that? That's
right. It never goes to the court. So let me give you numbers real quick. Tens of thousands of people trafficked in America every year. We've only had 148 federal prosecutions in the last 5 years.
That's nuts.
That is crazy.
148. The white paper, this is Aiken Law, 2 years, 500 PIRs filed, right? The highest number we found in the last 15 years where a state is prosecuting human trafficking is 47% prosecutions, okay? It's now dropped to 16%. Prosecutions are going down, trafficking is going up.
Why?
Because they pleaded down. They pleaded down to a misdemeanor, a drug charge, a kidnapping charge. What did they do with Diddy? Removed the sex trafficking charges and did what? Transportation. Because they can make that stick in the court of law. On the Diddy case, I say they threw the case. But on a case that does not high profile, when it's a 16-year-old in Lubbock, Texas, whose father is a trafficker, that's not high profile. The DAs do not build these cases as human trafficking cases because on average, a human trafficking case at the moment takes 19 months. In our court, it will take less than 9. Okay. Any other felony is a 9-month prosecution. There's precedent for this, though. FISA courts and bankruptcy courts. Yep. So when you look at bankruptcy courts 1978, the judges are saying, we don't know M&A deals. We don't know tag-along, drag-along, shares, mergers and acquisitions. You got to have a specialty court for this stuff. Why not for trafficking? It's more complex, way more complex. There's a human being on the other side. We always say heroin doesn't need defense, but a traffic survivor does.
Right.
Every other felony outside of human trafficking on a federal level and a state level, guess what the number is of prosecutions? 92%.
What is the normal default that they go for if they're knocking it down?
Paraphernalia, drugs.
Really?
Yeah, drugs. Because it goes hand in hand. Those who move people, they keep them sedated. There's always some kind of a drug or illegal arms, unregistered firearm. But kidnapping, they'll take kidnapping. It's basically what they did with Diddy. They took the Mann Act. Transportation for prostitution. Well, if it was going to be prostitution and she says it's against her will, then it's human trafficking.
Right.
That's I was figuring they'd probably do prostitution. I thought that's what would be the normal.
So the norm is, and most often it's marijuana, right? But it's always a plea down, or it is a they'll take anything. But I have federal judges, one that said these cases will not come to my court because the prosecutorial body does not know these cases. They don't see them enough, and they're so complex. If you have a 16-year-old trafficking a 16-year-old, and yes, that happens. That is our most recent case, right? The judges do not know what to do with this. Is he an adult because he's also a victim, because he was trafficked? They cry uncle, so the DAs and the prosecutors just go, I don't even know where to start. This child can't testify. So this court, please look into it. It is so well thought out. And people say, well, aren't you building bureaucracy? Absolutely not. The judges are already in their judgeships. The cases are already in the system.
Right.
They're just adjudicated by judges that don't know what they're doing. Now we find judges or appoint judges that know what they're doing. We educate them and you funnel. It's a redirection.
Yeah.
You direct. So if this court existed, the Epstein case would have been closed and shut in 9 months. Done. Prosecuted. It would have been built very differently. You would have subpoenaed and called witnesses who bought people from him to the courtroom. You built the cases differently, completely differently. The way you go about it, the way you take testimony is not the way they took Cassie Ventura's testimony, because the way they took their testimony made her a human piñata for defense to just knock like they did with Virginia. You wouldn't build cases that way, right? So this court is getting a lot of traction. Thank you so much. This is 2 years in the making, and it's actually good news of, wait a second, you mean there can actually be justice? Swift justice, quickly, because the law in Texas, it's going to give a guy 30 to life if he traffics a child, if it's trafficking charges in the court of law. But it's not trafficking charges.
Yeah.
254 counties in Texas, we've only ever prosecuted sex crimes in 10 of the 254 counties.
Jeez.
So you want to know why sex trafficking
it's incentivizing them to do it.
Yes.
Come on, right?
Yes.
So what would happen if we start saying, hey, we had 500 to 1,000 prosecutions according to the law in Texas alone this year through a trafficking court that's getting so sophisticated that BS doesn't fly anymore.
Right.
Right? And then if it goes wrong with the case, you know where to look. It's not like, well, it's Comey's daughter. We don't know who built the case. We don't really know files. We can't see into it. It's like, well, this action. No, it's human trafficking court. That's where we're going to go, right? Here's what's going to happen, and my last thoughts on it. Only 1.7% of human trafficking victims ever speak up because they know what just played out is going to play out.
Yes.
If I speak up, and my name is out there, I'll be ruined forever because there will not be justice.
Yep.
When you start bringing justice, they're going to speak. They're going to testify. Others are going to come out.
Yeah.
Because if you actually put someone away, you go put one CEO away for 30 years that bought children from Jeffrey Epstein, other CEOs may talk. They may talk. And this court will also adjudicate all the civil trials. So the same judge that's criminal will also handle civil, on the civil remedies, right? On civil remedies for the victims. Every survivor, all the NGOs, think tanks, even on the liberal side. I mean, we just met with very liberal senators yesterday. And they're like, this has to happen.
That was going to be my question, was like,
Bipartisan.
I would imagine it would be bipartisan
It's bipartisan. Because it's a real solution. And the white paper, when you read it, it's non-emotional, it's X's and O's, it's facts. So we're leading up now in September to a Senate Judiciary hearing, and we've curated, America has never heard sex trafficking explained the way it's about to be explained. And you would have wanted that in an Epstein case. Bring the experts. Let America really hear how this, because they ask, why children? Why are people never in jail? Why do the bad guys always walk? Why don't we see information on lists? This Senate Judiciary is going to lay it out. And then we're presenting the bill, and then we're going to ask America to put holy pressure on the Senate to vote it in, and the House, and we will, first of its kind in the world.
Wow.
There's no such court in the world. So,
and by the way,
thank you
if
for
anyone,
covering
of
it.
course, and by the way, if anyone wants to vote against it, please put yourself on
Go
the
ahead.
record.
Right?
Put yourself on the
ahead.
record as voting against it.
Tell us that you do
Please.
not want a court that's going to prosecute predators and pedophiles. Go on the record.
Exactly right. Exactly.
And they should, by the way, they should also give them the death penalty, in my opinion. If you traffic a kid, you need to die.
There's many states that are moving in that direction.
Right, absolutely,
It's state by
100%.
state, but there's also federal statutes. So it's interesting that the judge is cross-designated, so he can try at state level, but then try. So now all of a sudden, if your area does not have a human trafficking judge, you can say, I'm not taking it to Clay Jenkins.
Right.
I'm taking it to that judge.
To the federal human trafficking court.
Human trafficking court.
Good.
I love it. So people can help over at helpjbm.org.
Please. They go to helpjbm.org right now. We've made it, the only thing you see is this white paper. And we did a one sheet for people that just breaks it down in 7th grade language.
Great.
So people know how to talk about it, because it gets a little complicated when you start talking FISA and all these. It's simple, it's clean. We're going to promote the dickens out of this hearing that'll come in September. I want America to watch, be glued.
Yeah.
Just listen. And there's some interesting names that are going to speak at this hearing. It's going to be saucy.
Okay. Well, we will keep me posted on that. If you like this clip and you want to see the full episode, click here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, come on, you know you do. Click here.